the minutes. I would need a motion to approve, please.
So approved.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mary Jane?
Yes.
Natasha? Yes. Kathy?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
Ralph?
Yes. Need a motion to approve the warrants and payroll timesheets, please.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mary Jane?
Yes.
Natasha? Yes. Kathy?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
Ralph?
Yes. Need a motion to approve the interest transfer, please.
Move the interest be transferred to the respective funds.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mary Jane?
Yes.
Natasha? Yes. Kathy?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
Ralph?
Yes. A motion to approve the operating transfer to the police fund, please.
So moved.
Second. Roll
Mary
call.
Jane?
Yes.
Natasha? Yes. Kathy?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
Ralph?
Yes. I'd like a motion to approve the grant matching transfer to the street department fund, please.
Move these funds be moved.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mary Jane?
Yes.
Natasha? Yes. Kathy?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
Ralph?
Yes. Susan, all you?
Okay, I'll be quick. We have two very quick items. First, I just wanted to let everybody know, I have passed on to Mandy and to Rick that May the 10th at 9 o'clock in the morning, there will be a second public hearing in the Commissioners' Chambers in Eaton for the Phase 2 Cherry Street project. You know, we have the first phase funded with Ohio Public Works Commission money that will be here in July. And so we're going after Phase 2, which is French Street out to the water plant. And they will be holding a public hearing for submittal of that application to the Ohio Development Services Agency for the $300,000 grant that we've talked about.
What time is that?
9 o'clock on May the 10th. So not just anybody's schedule, that's wonderful. Somebody needs to be there.
I have
That works
a
out.
doctor's appointment, but I'm going to try and get it changed. So I'm going to try and be there because I didn't meet with Chris Day. So.
Okay.
And, other people can be there to our interest.
Right, yeah, I think so. So, the only other thing I had to bring forth is I just wanted to put in front of you that the Ohio Public Works Commission application will be due most likely the end of July, 1st of August. Based on August, and you don't have it on your calendar, but the first Friday of August falls before the first Monday of August. So if you would decide that you would want to submit something, we probably need to be deciding that in June, July-ish. You don't have anything in the pipeline at this point. If you put something in, it would be funded in 2020. So I really just wanted to put it out there for you to think about and think about, you know, is there something, you know, we typically have kept something in the pipeline, not knowing exactly where your funding is and knowing that the bridge project's coming up in there too. I guess I just, you know, didn't know. I just wanted to put it out there so you guys can take it around at your leisure, but have some, you know, time to work on that. So it's not like, oh, you have to decide right now. So, you know, if there's something that you want to do, we can talk about it in June and get you some cost estimates to look at for July. You know, we've got plenty of time, but that time creeps right up when you only have one meeting a month and you got to try to make some decisions. So.
And it'll be good to finish the stretch from the Dairy Queen up to the lamp post, a little more than the water line. That would be good.
Yeah, so we did a cost estimate for that we gave to Rick Ryder. So we already have that in place. I can get you some calculations on that for your next meeting, and then you can also, you know, kick around for something else you want to do. But yeah, we can do that, no problem. Okay, that's all I have.
All right.
That's easy.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Please feel free. I know you're busy.
Yeah, I have another meeting, so I will
All right.
probably look out.
Thank you, Susan. And back to the meeting, it'd be helpful if we have a couple people there. Commissioners that way if all possible. So, originally, we wasn't going to get us, they didn't submit art, but they, after reconsideration, they decided to take another look at it, so hopefully, we'll see what happens. Next on the agenda, Brenda Ritchie.
That's me.
I've got a complaint about my neighbor. He is a pig. Point blank. I've got pictures. Pass them around if you want. I'm tired of living by this guy. He won't clean up. He just mowed for the first time one day last week. His house was falling apart on the south end, which is, you're not gonna look at, of course. The gable end, all the cracks off of it in my yard. He is just a matter of fact, he's blocking the sidewalk with his truck. He can't pull it up because there's too much junk up there. And so if you go down the sidewalk, you gotta walk around his truck to continue on the other side of the sidewalk. It's ridiculous.
What street do you live on?
Cardinal Hill.
It's 500 Cardinal
John
Hill.
Philpott.
He's getting, there's been a letter approved. He's getting one as soon as the police delivers it.
Okay. Mary Jane's in charge of sanitation,
I
so she's.
called Mary Jane and talked to her.
Yeah, I got about the same pictures that he shot.
Do you? I couldn't get the date on my camera, but there's
I
a date
didn't
on
have
the
mine
receipt.
either. I wrote it on the,
That's why I had the head letter on,
Okay.
there's a date on the receipt.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody should have to live next to this. That used to be a nice neighborhood. I lived there almost 11 years. It was a very nice neighborhood, and he has junked it up. It's awful.
I know.
And I'm thinking about selling my house. If I can't put it up for sale. I'll probably take a $10,000 cut just because of what's next to me.
That's a property.
Is he
I talked to
living
you about
on the
too.
property, Brenda?
Yes,
Yeah.
yep.
If I had gotten that, which
He's got metal on the
It's like that
sidewalk.
for 2 years.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, we have a process we follow, so starting with the letters is the first
As soon as
process.
the letters are delivered, the police department delivers those.
When do they get delivered?
Hopefully tonight or tomorrow, maybe. Jared.
I'm checking right now.
Okay.
Just made him out today, so.
And he's got
Yeah.
10 days to clean it up.
As soon as I get when the police department delivers the letters,
Okay.
there's a little card they sign with a date, whatever the date's on there, I start the date after it's delivered
Okay,
and count 10 days.
okay.
And then I go, they're supposed to call me
There's a lot of debris
But they
rocks on the
won't, but-
sidewalk too.
Yeah.
when they get it cleaned up. I always go
Yeah,
back and check on the 10th day, and if they don't, they get a final notice,
Okay,
another 10 days, and then they go to court
okay.
if they don't clean it up.
Would I be aware of that? Because I'll go to court. I'll do whatever I gotta do to get this cleaned up.
Well, I can let you, I know, Jeremy, if we go to court, he'll have to let me know, because I don't go, he has to represent me
Okay.
with I get all the packet
Would
together.
it do her any good to attend?
I don't know, I'm upset with the
Okay.
court system because
Yeah.
we've taken other people to court, all they do is fine them, they don't
And
make
then
them
they
clean the
pay
mess
the
up.
bill and then they don't clean up.
Right,
Then there should be something to continue to go after.
then I have to start the process all over.
Well, after so
again.
many fines.
Yeah.
Now it has 30 days.
Yeah.
Before you can find them every
Right.
time. I mean, I sympathize with you, I do.
It's awful to
It
live next
just-
to
I
that.
can't
Maybe
say anything
the
about the
day we
mowing,
go
because
to
my mower's
court
down.
for
I
the-
haven't mowed part of mine yet, but the rest of it.
No, his motor wasn't down, he just
Yeah.
did last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just, I don't know what his problem is, but it sure ain't cleanliness, I'll tell you that.
Fortunately, process is what we have to go through to get it done, and we shouldn't have to, but we do, and sometimes it takes us,
Forever.
it's hard for us to get a lot of teeth in, when you take it to the prosecution and stuff, because they got other things they do.
Prosecutor wrote the ordinance.
You know, they don't want to, so it's a complicated
While
issue.
we're here, I would like to know what the 1% tax goes for, I'm just curious.
It goes into the general fund.
Or whatever is needed.
Oh. Okay.
It's
The
what-
income tax, Brenda.
It's,
I do have a budget,
It
it's
does,
only
yes.
$1,000, and that's usually used up by the end of June.
if we didn't have the 1% income tax, we probably would be functioning as a village and more be back to the county.
Well, I was just curious
That
what it
money-
went for. I
The
just-
state.
That money was really saving us from some serious
And then it
consequences.
would be worse.
Well, but it just goes everywhere, you know, that
It's the
goes
same
into
people
all
all
the
the
things
time.
that we need.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it just brings property value of my place down.
I know.
I put a lot of work in my home, and I don't want to live next to Sanford's, and I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it.
All of them's been served except for that.
Okay, oh, except for that.
Oh, now, come on, come on.
Apparently, he's not answering the door, so.
If it's that black truck's there, he's there.
All right, thank you, Brenda.
Okay, I'm taking off.
Okay,
Thank you, thank you for this, I like it.
Next on the agenda is Jennifer Hop. Oh,
Yep. I'm also on Cardinal Hill Drive. So our house is 508, we back up to the school, the old school and the park, new kind of park. And we're really excited to see the improvements that have been made so far and happy about that. Over the years though, we've been dealing with, there's like a little opening in that, you know, it's kind of barbed wire in between all the houses, but there's an opening right behind our home in between us and the neighbors next to us. And often there's a lot of children that run through there, but adults are going through too. And we've always kind of had some concern with liabilities and things to that matter. But now we are seeing more traffic because we've kind of opened up that track, and the track being right there, you can really see that opening a lot better. So I guess what I'm wondering is, I don't know if there's something in the pipeline of what else you can do. I work in property real estate, and I have a homeowners association that also has a park, so I wasn't sure if this would be an option to put up like a sign. I made just 2 copies. Just like a park boundary, private property on the other side. Or if, and I'm willing to pay for a portion of this if possible, and if I could, even put some shrubbery in that would be on the park property. It's not our property. So I know we need to get approval of that.
So you don't have a fence at the back of your house?
There's no, that barbed wire stops right at our edge, and then it starts back up again. It's probably
so someone took it down
20 feet.
at some point in time.
Probably years.
Now, the next question is, whose fence
Who's
is it?
fence, yeah.
It's the parks. So when I look on the county records, our property lines, it really looks like part of our backyard is really still part of the parks, part of the school's property, because it looks like the old owners before us, it looks like they put that shed right directly on, which means our backyard before the barbed wire fence starts, there's probably 3 feet. That really is probably technically the
What do you
school's
mean the
property as
shed?
well.
You talking about the barn that's on the school property?
No, we have a shed on our
Oh,
property.
okay.
And I think they put it right on it. So if I were to add some trees through there, then it would be on the parks. It would be on the, your,
Because if they go behind that shed, they're going to be off your lot. Is that what you're saying?
well, the shed has, right behind the shed, there is the barbed wire. It's kind of comes down a little bit farther, and it opens up into our backyard, which the main reason is liability, but security is a big issue for us too. It's so dark back there, and it opens up to the back of our home. And then the neighbor, it kind of opens to the neighbor's yard too, through there.
So you're wanting to put shrubs or trees or something there?
I would, and possibly if I could do a sign like that too. I've tried putting no trespassing signs back there. The neighbor's not real fond of me. And really, it's just been kind of an issue, and we've been called crazy and all kinds of stuff, but whatever. Our house got egged after we yelled at some kids a couple of years ago. So it's always been kind of an ongoing issue with people coming through that area.
And some of it is neighborhood children
Yes.
taking a shortcut to the park and coming home.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is.
We'll take a look at it. If it's our fence, which I don't know at this point whose fence it
Yeah.
is, it's been there for longer than I've been here, but
I mean, the
So
concept-
it's
probably longer than all of us have been
fence,
here.
yeah.
So
it's
maybe
fine.
we can, take a look at putting a section of fence in there or whatever. We'll just have to take a look at it, see
Okay.
what's going on. As far as signs, you put as many signs on your property as you care to, as far as I know.
But we put some trespassing signs
thinking
on,
that
like
fence-
on the edge of our property that's really on the parks property, and people take them down and like throw them in our backyard.
Well, I'm just assuming at this point that the fence line has always been considered the back of those houses up through there, even though technically,
Yeah.
legally, surveying wise, it probably shows it different, but after 100 years, it usually grandfathers the other way.
Right.
So I would,
That fence line's been up there since it was a farm and there was cattle up
well, that's what I'm
I'm
saying,
sure.
it's a grandfather thing that I don't think I don't think there's a, without having it surveyed, you just don't know.
Right.
And sometimes when you search things, you come out not as well as you was when you started, so. We'll take a look at it and see if there's anything we can do for the opening up there.
Okay.
And so we'll have the guys go take a look and see if there's anything we can do there.
Awesome. I'm willing to kind of help out in the area if we need to.
Well, hopefully that's, more of that area's gonna be cleaned up there. We, supposed to have a bunch of volunteers that's gonna go up there and clean a lot of that out. The old park situation was,
Yeah.
but they had to change the date because they had the Easter egg that day. And so I haven't heard back from the guys, and the next day is when they're gonna do this. So hopefully there's gonna be some more cleanup up there in the near future.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Mr. Bell?
Just came back this month to see if you folks had any questions for me. I know that there were some due diligence issues that you guys wanted to take care of as far as electric went, and wanted to find out what the status of that was, and if you guys had additional questions for me. I wanted to give you a couple of reports. One is that I came back and I've gone through your aggregate, which comes up, I believe, in, is it November of this year or May of next?
18 of May is, I was thinking it was 18.
May of 18. So I've sent it out, the report that I got, to everybody in the industry that handles aggregations. There's one company in the industry that's particularly strong because they have quite a presence in Ohio as far as aggregation goes. About the same time that you guys got involved in the aggregation, there was a push from the counties and economic development at the state level, I believe, to involve communities in aggregations. And so with that, you know, there's been a couple of players, and there usually are, that rise to the surface as being particularly strong. One of the things that I had a question about, you guys have approximately how many water meters?
750.
750. You would think that there's probably a aggregate, an electric meter for each one of those. And presently, right now, you have 225 people, I think, on the report that you gave me, which seems like a very low number because typically we don't see that number of people opt out of aggregates when a village doesn't. Although I will tell you that the pricing that's out there in the market from the time you guys did the aggregate to this point, there were probably significantly cheaper options for the people at that point. And so when you do this again, if you decide to do this again, I believe that the rates that we're going to see to offer these folks are going to be considerably better than they were last time. And as I reported to you before, that's going to be with a wholesale electric cost that's higher now than it was then. The wholesale electric cost is more expensive now than it was at that point in time. The other thing that I wanted to run by you guys tonight is, tonight was the first time I've looked at the village's natural gas bills. And while you guys don't use a significant amount of natural gas here, you're in what's called the standard choice offer with Vectren, which is your present utility delivery company. They don't sell you any of the gas. There's a supplier that either you pick, or they have 4 companies that bid for the gas supply each month. And whoever has the lowest rate of those 4 companies delivers to you what is called the standard choice offer for the gas. Presently, you're in a variable rate for your gas. The EIA, which is an agency of the federal government, projects that the natural gas is going up in 2017. I would speculate, only because I haven't seen your bills from last year, but probably the highest that you paid last year for natural gas was 41 to 42 cents. January the 1st, the standard choice offer in the state of Ohio went up to 54.090. It has dropped back to 50 cents because of a soft winter. But the EIA projects that between now and the end of the year, there will be a significant increase in the gas again. So one of the things that you guys might want to talk about is, again, our gas rate right now. I worked for a supplier before, as I told you previously. I work for a broker now, and in the state of Ohio, there are not a significant number of choices in the gas industry from the broker standpoint. There's a lot of companies that are just not operating in the Vectren area. The best rate company that I have out there right now is a company called Volunteer Energy. And based on your guys' usage, we could secure you $49.9 per 100 cubic feet for 3 years.
Where are we at today?
You're at 50 and some change on the standard choice offer. And my only concern for you is that when I look at other folks who have stayed in the standard choice offer, I see some of them, some months, they're 64, 65 cents. Now, in your months where you guys are not going to use anything except for hot water in the buildings, which I would assume that's probably this time of year, on the standard choice offer, you're going to see that you have no value at all. In other words, they'll just say they didn't sell you any gas, so they say your standard choice offer is 0,000. But when you get in the months where you have usage, you can be exposed to if we have a catastrophe in the Gulf, we've seen those natural gas rates get as high as $1.40 per 100 cubic feet. But again, you guys don't use a significant amount, so it's just a matter of percentage savings against the dollar, really.
Okay, back to the participation in aggregate. People had a choice. We did, when the DPNL Energy come to us, a situation included a couple things, the reason we went to DPNL Energy. And then the people, and they took it on and had to do with the street light issue back then.
Right.
And so the people were, they give us those rates without knowing what participation was going to be in the village. They handled that, they sent out the letters, they did that and all that. So that would be, the next time would be the same thing. We don't, or we never have as a body accepted it and enforced it on the people. It's always to have their choice as to who they want to use or what have you. Back to the electric side of the route, did you do some investigating on the Miami Valley lighting?
Miami Valley, they told me that it didn't make any difference who we went with, that they would still honor everything we have at the present time. So it would be up to the body to decide whether we want to go with this gentleman or someone else, and it wouldn't affect lighting or anything.
Well, and that is on our commercial usage that we're talking about, which is due this month, the 15th of this month. So, in your opinion, do you have a recommendation for council?
I'd like to go with this gentleman here for integrity, because I felt like what I've read and seen that his prices are very competitive on that, and I have no problem with their rates that they quoted us before in the minutes, if I believe it's right.
Is there anyone else with comments,
Feel the same?
or is there a second?
I'll say,
Mary Jane?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Tasha?
Yes.
Teresa?
yes.
Ralph?
Yes. Hey, John, that's taken care of. Now, what about the gas, folks? Would you guys like to do something with the gas?
So are you, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, please.
I have a question about the adjusted rate. Did you say that it was adjustable?
No, one of the things that I do want to say to you guys so that you understand and so that it's on your record. In the state of Ohio, every company that will sell you electric or gas will deliver you a contract that's going to say, as required by the Public Utility Commission of Ohio, that it is a variable rate product. You have a fixed rate within the contract. The variable nature of the product will only be if the Public Utility Commission of Ohio passes a charge through of some sort that gets passed on to everybody, whether you're getting supplied by DPNL or whether you're getting supplied by Becker. So none of the contracts that you would receive from us have any additional charges or any pass-through charges in them in the beginning. If the Public Utility Commission passes something through that is going to be passed on to us, we do pass that on to you, but it is detailed by cost from the Public Utility Commission what it will be, and it'll be public record what it would be, and our pass-through would match it.
Same as everybody else.
Same as everybody else's.
What about,
What instance would cause that?
Is that fairly standard? I mean, can we look forward to that?
We don't see it very often. I would give you a for instance where it happened in 2014, and I wasn't in the industry in 2014, so I can't give you every detail to it. But there were some charges that the Public Utility Commission approved from the manufacturer of the power because they were improving the power grid that keeps us from having brownouts or blackouts. And so that was passed through to everyone in 2014, whether you were on a variable contract or whether you were on a fixed rate contract. Or if you were just with the utility at the time, everyone got that. So there's in the gas, again, there's, just like with the electric, there's nothing hidden there. The only thing that I would tell you is that, you know, if this rate goes up, you may only see a 3 or 4 or 5 cent difference per 100 cubic feet between now and the end of the year. But the way natural gas pricing works is we have a thing called the Henry Hub in the Gulf of Mexico. And if that Henry Hub suffers any kind of it's usually weather type catastrophes, all the commodities in the United States go up, including the natural gas. And so a lot of what you're doing, the electric rate is driven by the natural gas primarily. So a lot of what you're doing with this is you're guaranteeing your rate for the future against the potential that something else could happen that would.
So if it does happen, our rate won't increase?
Your rate will not change at all because of that. Because what happens is we're going to prepay for the energy that your bills say you historically use. And so we're going to prepay for it at the beginning of the agreement, and it carries through the end of the agreement. The only thing that changes it is the Public Utility Commission of Ohio.
And it doesn't matter who you're with.
No, they're going to hit.
Back to the agreement, if we left something out, do we want to go 3 years or 5 years on that? Is that not you offered, John? Was 3 years or 5 years on electric? Or was it just 3 years?
I can get you guys.
Or was it just 3 years? Is that what we talked about?
No, I can get you a 3-year rate, a 4-year rate, a 5-year rate. As a matter of fact,
but what the rate that you quoted us on a 3-year?
I gave you rates for all of them, I believe, but I gave you, I think I quoted you a 3-year. Yeah.
So this is for a 3-year contract at the number that we discussed before. And I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head either, but we probably should have that.
But I can look, I'm not 100% certain what the rates will be tomorrow on the 5-year rate. But I may be able to save you guys as much as a 10th on the 5-year rate. I think we talked about a 5-year rate with something else as well.
Yeah. Okay.
But, you know, and if I'm able to save you as much as a 10th on a 5-year rate, would you like for me to bring you the 5-year contract, or would you like for me to bring you the 3-year contract?
5 years.
We can say.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Somebody can outbid you or whatever.
That's true.
I'll go out on a limb here and say the 5-year contract because of the savings.
I'll second that.
All right, so the contract's for 5 years.
So if there is a savings to it, bring you a
Yes,
5-year
correct.
contract.
No, we'll do the 3-year that we originally spoke of. Now, back to the gas. Do we want to hook up with the gas or? Now, this is just for the buildings of the villages.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all things.
Is it?
It's just our buildings, it's stuff that we own, period.
Right.
I think it sounds good to me. You never know what's gonna happen in the Gulf. Nature is very unpredictable these days.
In 06 and 08 were the last times that we had major occurrences down there. And if you look at what the natural gas did, it spiked significantly.
It never went down.
It did, it went back down, it went to all-time lows actually. It really did.
Don't seem like it
I know.
to me.
It's on its way back.
So your choice is to sign up with Mr. Bell and gas also for our supplier. I think that need a motion in a second.
Can we get the
25 years on gas as we get on electric, or do we have to stick to 3?
There's really not anybody out there in the industry right now that has 5 years on gas that way. When you find somebody that's doing as far out as 3, it's pretty
And
significant.
we are talking 3, correct?
Yes, sir.
3 on the gas.
Yes.
I move that we go, we come on the gas too.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mary Jane?
Yes.
Tasha? Yes. Kathy?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
Ralph?
Yes.
Anything else, John?
Just, I hope that I didn't confuse the issue when I was talking about the aggregate earlier, because right now you have 225 of your village meters that are on there. And in an aggregate like this, it's small commercial. It can be small commercial and residential inside the village. And when you redo the aggregate, they will send this letter back out, just like they did originally, to everyone, making them aware that there's an aggregate pricing for the village. And they'll opt out again, just like they did before.
Yeah. Well, as we get closer to the end of the contract next year, we'll expect to see you, and then we'll try and set up some informational meetings for the people in the village. And then that way they'll have some, hopefully some idea of what's coming at them, because, you know, like most people, it comes in, it looks like that, it goes in the trash can, and they don't respond, and then in 30 days, you're automatically hooked up with these folks, and then you go to cancel out, plus you $100 disconnect fee, because they automatically hook you up if you don't reject it.
Yes.
And that's one thing that we hate to see any resident in the village get put in that scenario, but at the same time, we can only give them so much information. They got to do some due diligence on their own, so.
So as what my effort is anytime I'm before anyone, whether it's you guys or whether it's just a business or an individual, I want to be informative. And I think I was on the record before as saying, and if I wasn't, I need to be now. One of the things you guys should talk about is decide when you want to put this on the table for your discussion. My suggestion to you is that it be somewhere between April and June, because I mentioned that natural gas drives the electric rate. Between April and June, how many of you are operating your furnaces regularly right now? Not very many, and most people would say, I'm not really operating my furnace right now. How many of you have cranked on your air conditioning and are running at full speed all the time?
Not full speed all the time.
This is the period in the United States where the natural gas, the pressure comes off of it between April and June. And because we're a supply and demand economy, we're going to see the lowest natural gas rate right now in this period that we will see all year long.
So what you're telling us in essence is we could go ahead with a plan to sign up with you now, and it would take effect to ours runs dry. But in the meantime, you people are going to have to send the information out to people in the village.
And you get to take advantage of the soft spot in the natural gas market. Going forward, regardless of when your contracts end on electric and gas, you should always try and negotiate them between April and June.
I don't know.
And the reason that I say that, you take states like Texas and New Mexico and Oklahoma, those states use close to 60% natural gas to make their electricity. So when those states all fire up with their AC units and start running them hard all the time, and we do too, the pressure comes back on the natural gas across the country.
Well, they're already doing that in Texas.
They are, but they're not doing it everywhere.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. All right,
So
John.
do I bring that contract to the village office then?
Yep.
Okay.
Bring it to the head cheese here.
I'll bring it tomorrow and then you guys can get it signed and
That'd be
returned.
neat.
Thank you all so much for your
Thank you.
time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Looking forward to doing business with you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
All right. Safety, chief?
Police department handled 140 calls for service for the month of April. The 27 reports, 3 arrests, 9 citations, and issued 34 warnings. A few things I got here and everything, I'm just going to skip around and everything. There's a letter that got mailed to the police department that's on the back of your guys' list. I did take out the victim's name and everything. I just thought it would be something nice to point out to you guys that, you know, this ain't the first letter that we've gotten here in the past year or so. But this one here seems to mean a little bit of the other ones, just saying thank you. So,
Great. Glad y'all were able to help her out.
Yeah, be proud of this.
Very much so.
So a few other things that I got on my list. Actually, they didn't put everything on my list, but Sergeant Hamilton's completed his probation period, which with that being done, then the rest of his raise for his probation went on through. Officer Katzenberger also completed his probation period. I sat down with the safety committee, discussed his evaluation. Basically, I did an evaluation on every officer. Sergeant Hamilton for his probation period, Officer Katzenberger for his probation period, Officer Stevens for his yearly evaluation, and then I couldn't ever find where Officer Hurd has had one in a while, so I went ahead and did one on him, even though he only works, two days a month, at least period of spare to actually go ahead and do them. So I don't know if the safety committee has any recommendations or anything for that.
Sergeant Hamilton received a raise, which was part of his promotion.
Correct.
When he finished his probationary period. His raise was $1. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
But that was part of what he received with his promotion after his probationary period was successfully completed. So that one's
And
done.
we voted on that at the time.
We did.
Laid it out that way, that this is how his increase would be presented to him as soon as his probation was verified on a positive side. And that's why Hamilton automatically rolled into that pay scale than the other fellows, I believe, Kathy.
I think we wanted that the others had successful probationary periods or good reviews. 3% is the standard that we've been giving, and that's what we recommend for these two.
Is that in the form of a motion?
It is.
I move that
Is there a second, please?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Mary Jane?
Yes.
Natasha? Yes. Kathy?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
Ralph?
Yes.
This is a very nice letter received from the lady. I want to commend the police department and the officer that took care of this. It was a domestic situation that is, the lady has truly said her life's been turned around from the actions of our officers. And for all their due diligence they did on her case and to keep her safe. And very highly commended to the officers involved. Also, I'd like to tell our officers what a great job. If you have not all seen the news today, we had a conclusion to the disaster here in the village. And I want to thank the officers for all their due diligence and hard work in that. And thank you very much for serving the community.
Good work, guys.
Yeah.
Couple other things that, thank you guys. A few other things that I brought up, that I had to bring up, the Mary Reese talked about, getting some type of security cameras, monitor system or something in Airport Park. We've had some vandalism done to the tables already and everything else like that. We've had two different incidences of it. One is in the process of being resolved, and the other one is just recent. The Mary Reese talked about getting trail cameras to help monitor the area and everything else like that. Today, I actually want to purchase two of them, so we can start using them, not just that.
Can they be fixed where nobody can steal them?
They're going to be bolted on, the cameras are inside of a metal box, so they're going to have to be very destructive when they're doing it.
Yeah.
I went ahead and gave the chief permission to get these cameras. It was a couple $100. I said, let's get them up there before everything gets tore up.
That's
And
crazy.
so hopefully, and then I really think that I'm really thinking that, and open for suggestions here, but I'm not so sure that we should put, hey, you're being monitored up
It
there.
wouldn't
That would
hurt.
help too. And some signs up there to tell them, hey, we're watching. And I've given instructions to the officers that anything that they see going on at the school, we are going to do everything we can to prosecute the first time. There's nothing going to be lenient to see. We're going to take it as far as we can take it. First day construction up there. So hopefully we can deter it before it starts getting out of hand.
This is not the
And
problem.
Jimmy's going to work on, well, Jimmy's going to work on streets tomorrow, on the asphalt, but maybe in the morning where he can't get the asphalt before 10 o'clock, maybe he can get those up there.
He's been getting prepared for it, hasn't he, by cutting the squares out?
Yeah, if you notice, we're in the grinder, we've been around grinding all the places in the road, people's jumping up and down, trust me, I hear it all the time, and I keep telling you, we gotta wait till we get the material to fix it, so, asphalt plant's open at 10 o'clock in the morning out here, and so we run the machine last week and ground all the spots down and everything, and so they're gonna start fixing them in the morning.
Good.
Hopefully he can get up there in the morning, maybe get cameras up before he goes to asphalt plant. If not, we'll get up there pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'll give them first thing. Try to get that taken care of.
Anything else, Chief?
Patty, you told me to remind you about possible other cameras, power sources, and things like that.
Yeah, if this doesn't work, if the trail cameras doesn't do it, we may have to consider some type of security up there with cameras that can be, the problem with that is, you gotta have the internet up there somewhere, and then you gotta have a place for the box to sit, so that's a whole.
Let's hope the trail cameras work.
A whole new can of worms to put surveillance up there where they can actually see it on the camera sitting here at PD, but that's, hopefully this will curtail it. If it doesn't, we're gonna have to consider other measures up there.
Put it on my
To
property.
take care of it, so. Yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully we can, make them think about it a little bit before they start being destructive.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Chief. Job well done. Building,
Nothing.
streets,
I think you covered it about a while ago, when you talked about Jimmy. I wanted to explain to the public that we're trying, we had to cut it bigger to make it a permanent fix, or somewhat of a permanent fix. A lot of people don't realize that, but there's a process you have to go through to try to save the village money, which I think that's what we're doing. And a lot of them don't understand it, but I want them to be patient.
yeah, I've heard rumors that we paid $50,000 for the box.
Are you serious?
It's that red bruises that's out there. I personally hope that all the people that's complaining when it's done, they'll come around and say.
Yeah, well, it's over, I'm sure that.
Yeah.
Just a suggestion.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I will say that the smaller ones Jimmy's going to work on with the compactor, the bigger spots, we're actually going to put the blacktop in the dump truck, and we're going to be renting a small roller for that. So but he's going to try and do all the little ones first that he can do by hand, and also we're going to put him and Patrick on it together, so hopefully we get it knocked out pretty quick. Lights,
Nothing.
finance, Kathy?
Speaking of the asphalt and the equipment rental and things, we're probably going to have to move a little money from our general fund to cover the bill. We feel like the money, if we wait till October, there probably would be money in there, but if we do that, we'll be hanged from a lamppost. No, but I mean, just to get us through, we're going to wait till the bills come, see what we can spend from street maintenance, bring the rest over, so we'll have that, probably have that at our next meeting to move a little bit from.
I think the grinder is about $700, and the roller is
When I got billed today, it was a little over 1,000.
a little over 1,000. And the roller's $120 a day or whatever it is, so I think it's a little less.
Yeah.
That'd be fine.
We'll just wait till we get the whole thing and then move what we need to move.
All right. Sanitation, Mary Jane?
Letters were sent out today. There was 5 letters. 3 of them on North High Street, and 1 on West Main, 1 on East Main. What else? Oh, Cardinal Hill.
North
North, yeah, there was 3 on North High.
What about
And then there's 2
Lincoln?
vacant.
What about
Lincoln.
the corner of Lincoln and Wren?
I don't know anything about that.
There's, that
I
house is
didn't,
getting
I haven't
all.
been down there.
that
Right
house
on
is
the
getting-
corner?
Yeah, on Lincoln. It's
Like,
getting all
you
filled
turn
up.
right
again,
off the
you know.
spring
A
and
few years
it's
ago, it was
all-
all piled up, and it's getting that way again, so
Okay,
I'm gonna take a look at that one.
okay.
At one point,
And
weren't
there's,
they pulling everything out of the house and then remodeling or something? And it's never been completed, it just keeps,
What's that?
That place.
That house,
That's
it-
right, that's the only-
for a while, it looked like a lot of stuff was being ripped out of the house. I'm not sure what's going on now.
On East
The
Main?
one on Lincoln and,
Oh, wait. Oh,
Red.
I don't know. And there's 2 vacant homes, one's on Holly Mills at the ground. I called Randy today, and he's going to come in and get those mowed, and the other one's down on, it's 205 High Street. They're both vacant.
well, don't send them to my house, I'm trying to get my mower fixed.
All right,
Hopefully tomorrow.
planning, I don't know of anything. EPA's not here. Looks like it's pretty much wrapped up. Anybody got anything? I can't think of anything else.
I do want to say thank you to Jimmy and whoever else went up there and cleaned up before the egg hunt. There was somebody had thrown a Rockstar can, and that was the only trash, really, that we had to pick up. We moved a few limbs, but they could have come down anytime, or not limbs, but since we have 2- and 3-year-olds out there, we try to keep it as clean as
Right.
possible to not tripping. But we appreciated that. Thank you.
Yeah, we still need to look into some heavy trash cans for out there too. We still
Yes.
know we know that, so, I mean, you know, I have seen a little more activity up there on the walking track, but,
There's a lot up there.
so, that's good, so.
Probably a lot warmer.
Yeah.
They still go by my house though. They like that Spring Street stretch.
All right, nothing else. Next meeting will be June 5th at 7 o'clock. We need a motion to adjourn, please.
I'll move.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Good toss, man.